here, Apple has something also very interesting. They have preset filters for colorblind options. And that brings us to the next user experience. So here is an image of a clover. It's half pink and half green. And this is what it looks like to somebody who's colorblind in that red-green spectrum. It's gray with no distinction. So according to Healthline and the National Eye Institute, 8% of men and a half a percent of women are colorblind. And most of that is in this red-green spectrum. So this level of detail is important when you work with color in your documents that you post and on your website. And here's another common object, a traffic light. So when you're colorblind, you not only need to figure out colors, but you also need to learn location. So red is always at the top and green is always at the bottom. But we get creative sometimes. So what happens when you rotate that stoplight 90 degrees? The location changes. Now think about how often you see or you use red and green in your dashboards or buttons to emphasize information, to direct people to do an action or make a decision. Do you just use color or are you labeling the button with the information? These are important details to incorporate into your design. So let's look at one other color spectrum. So this illustrates blue and yellow highlighting. And to somebody with color blindness in that blue-yellow spectrum, it looks like this, or doesn't look like this. They don't see anything. So how often have you highlighted information in a document or an email or asked somebody to make an edit or a decision based on what you have highlighted? We see this all the time in spreadsheets and project forecasts and graphs and fact sheets and that kind of stuff. So what can you do to provide direction that is not confusing or missing? It's simple. Avoid pastel colors when highlighting. It needs that color contrast. It needs a higher contrast for that to see, or use a different type of commenting tools. Text boxes, bubbles, boxes, directions, arrows, all those types of things will give the user a much clearer indicator of what you're looking for.